Welcome to the coverage of the Tribeca Game Spotlight thing. That's it. That's the name of it. We got it correct. We nailed it correctly. That's the name of it. The Tribeca Game Spotlight thingy. They're offering up about 45 minutes, I think, here in this the spotlight. And the games are actually kind of cool. I'm excited for it. They're going to start off with Kina. They actually have a full list of what to expect in here, courtesy of inverse.com. So we'll see. Let me scroll down. We'll take a look. We got Kina, Bridge of Spirits. It's that cute game from the PlayStation 5 State of Play / PlayStation 5 reveal. Lost in Random Sable, 12 minutes. Very excited for 12 minutes. I really want to see the 12-minute stuff. Signalis, The Big Con, Harold Halibut, and Norco. Also, we got some heavy hitters here. Hideo Kojima, Norman Reedus, Sam Lake, James McAvoy. James McAvoy, I think, is in 12 minutes, so that's probably why he's there. Kiki Wolfkill. What an incredible name that is, just right off the bat. But, yeah, nice to meet you. My name's JP McDaniel. Oh, mine's Kiki Wolfkill. Is that a real name? She's the head of Halo? Oh. Maybe we're going to get some Halo movie stuff. Elijah Wood's going to be there. Gen Z. Khalif is going to be there. Neil. Japanese Breakfast. I actually am a fan of them after yesterday. Guillermo del Toro. Tanya DePass. Reggie. Bizame. Bing Gordon. Melissa Joan Hart. I have a random tangent about Melissa Joan Hart, at least Melissa Joan Hart adjacent. I had someone's laugh described the other day as the cat from Sabrina. And I kind of want to just play back the laugh so that you guys can experience it, because it's very funny. Salem the cat's laugh showed up in a random live stream fails link. I think it was from, we're going to watch it. Fuck it. Actually, I think it's just now starting. Nope, they're late. Is it on, it's on /Twitch Gaming, right? Or is it on Summer Game Fest? Let me make sure I'm not fucking up. The Game Awards. Okay, they're not there yet. Seems to be a little delayed. They're currently watching trailers right now on Netflix. Looks like they're wrapping up. Let me find this thing. Because it's, if I can. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to, and this whole thing will be for nothing. And people will just skip past the start. That's what's gonna happen, most likely. Fuck it, we're pulling out of the segment. Go watch it. It's Asmongold gets ported by a mage or something like that. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And also Jeff Keighley will be there as well. Let me pull up the thing on where this is supposed to be happening. So where is this stream actually supposed to be occurring? Because I thought it was on... I thought it was supposed to be happening on Twitch Gaming. But is it twitch.tv/Tribeca Games? Is this thing like rolling over? Weird. I guess they're just like saying screw it. Well, let's tune in. Let's tune in. Oh, this is called Signalis. Ah, it's also now on Twitch Gaming. There we go. This seems very intense. Isn't this also a famous song? Like, this isn't original music. I think this is a famous song. Oh, great. Let's, oh, God. Hey, look who it is.
Bridge of Spirits is a rich, compelling tale of fantasy and
Hold
adventure.
on.
With
I'm going to see if I
themes
can
of trauma
sync
and
up
loss
what
of
I'm watching
forgiveness.
with the
Breathless
capture.
battles with supernatural foes. But the first
Beautiful.
thing that
We
hits
got
you
it.
when you see it is the beauty of a debut game from a small but
Sync
passionate team
complete, because I'm watching on two
and how
different
the stunning
monitors,
animation
chat.
of its lush, magical world pulls you into a
That way
journey
I'm not
of a
staring
spirit
like
guide
this for the
trying to
rest of
save
the
a village
stream.
haunted by restless souls.
Wow, this
So why not let
looks
you see it for
incredible.
yourself? Here's our next official selection.
Are you guys seeing
Bridge of
this?
Spirits.
I'm staring at you. Here we go. I'm very excited for this game.
Look, Penny.
Ground yourself. Feel the energy of the mountain. Draw on its power.
Turn up the volume. I can pump up the jam. She's got some big vein. Is that better?
Ember Lab is a really small studio. We have a background in film and animation. We got our start doing visual effects for films.
What the fuck? They don't actually do this. This is not a real
we
thing.
moved to doing a lot of animated work for commercials. In between commercial projects, we would always siphon off some time to learn new things and be a little creative.
What the fuck?
And over time, we decided that, wow, we have a real passion for games. And we wanted to throw our hat into the ring with our first project, Canaan.
Dude, for this being their first project,
tells me you did not come to our village.
like, good God,
Forest creatures.
that is gorgeous.
Hello, Spirit. I seek passage to the sacred mountain shrine.
Yeah, this is our
games
first
our whole
game.
lives together as brothers, and the action.
Not a
adventure
big deal. It's
games
just our
where
first
we play
game ever.
together
It's
and we
fucking
also
drop dead
enjoy.
gorgeous.
We kind of had this idea of the rot being a kind of a force of nature that was maybe working against you. It was kind of the enemy initially, and then I kind of had the thought to flip it, where the rot become your companions.
Look at that game.
Come on.
It's so cute.
And that's when we kind of like found that we had something kind of unique. Opened up a lot of cool mechanics, especially with the puzzles in the game.
The big thing here is like, game looks great. Can they make a good game though? Does it translate into fun gameplay? What the hell is that?
With film, you can just put the camera where you want it. You can tell, you have complete control over what they're seeing, when they're seeing it, how they're seeing it. And in games, all that goes out the window. So communicating ideas or themes to the player is a lot more difficult.
Man, that's very pretty.
You have to be really sort of crafty in how you're getting communication to the player, especially when it's trying to do it through gameplay and not just like always through cutscene.
One of Tara's memories. I should see where it leads me.
We love creating immersive experiences, and we try to really think about atmosphere and tone a lot when we're on the game development side. storytelling and atmosphere is a big part of our traditional medium in terms of film aesthetics. Just having the world be something that you want to sit down and
Look
explore
how
and be a
dense
part
that
of,
world is.
was a goal of ours from the beginning.
Whoa.
Having a nice team of really great animators who have worked together, I think was paramount in terms of pulling off some of the storytelling we wanted to do with the game. We're actually making like a 45-minute animated movie inside of a game.
Hi.
We're really proud of the team. A lot of them.
Wait, it's only
come from the
45
visual effects and
minutes of
animation background
cutscenes?
and kind of like converted their skill sets from the film and animation background into developers on the game side.
Oh god, they're fighting a Kappa. What
During the
hell?
process of making the game, we also were introduced to a musical group called Sudamani. And we actually, Jason and myself went over to Bali to do recording for the soundtrack.
Those motherfuckers are gonna DMCA me now. Jesus Christ.
Is the composer, but his daughter Ayu is actually the voice of Kana.
My name's Kana. What are you two doing out here?
She's never done any voice acting, but she fit right in.
It's okay. You have to go now.
We wanted to make a game that would just excite us if we saw it. Something that we would see the trailer. Oh yeah, that game looks awesome.
Yeah.
So as difficult as it has been, it's also very rewarding because it's like something that we would be very proud of. And something that we would want to pick up ourselves.
You must move on.
This is crazy because everything they've said so far, it's like, oh yeah, we just called our friends over here. They, made some music for us, and we got this person that has never voice acted before, and she's fucking incredible, and we didn't have to pay her much, so that's awesome. And then we made this game, and it was, not that hard to make.
The path of a spirit guide is a lonely one.
That looks very good.
Southern Gothic is
Oh,
a uniquely
fucking
American
Christ.
storytelling tradition, blending magical realism with dark tales of decay in the American South. Norco adds a dash of sci-fi to the Southern Gothic stew, weaving cyborgs and artificial intelligence into pixelated Louisiana landscapes, where the sun sets heavy and orange over the swamps, and oil refineries blaze like torches in the night. It is a place where people, memories, and secrets have a way of getting lost and buried. Dig them up if you dare in the haunting and extraordinary adventure that is Norco.
I bet you he's a lot of fun to hang out with. That guy seems like the type of guy that no matter what you say, he's like, let's go. Let's do it. I'm in. I bet you he's super fucking fun to hang out with.
Geography of Robots. There's a handful of devs, artists, and musicians
His name is
making output
Yutz.
that is largely
Or
centered
Utes.
around the
Utes?
American South and the psychogeography of the American South.
Another one.
I wonder if he knows Guts.
Our first release is a game called Norco, which is about my hometown of Norco, Louisiana.
What the fuck?
A small, very industrialized town about 25 miles upriver from New Orleans.
That, what?
There's so many intersecting pieces of infrastructure. So many stories embedded in the landscape.
That's wild looking.
I've been fascinated with that region since I was a kid. I wanted to synthesize all of those research interests into something, and Norco is that culmination of effort.
Isn't Norco a drug for overdosing? that they use when like people overdose on heroin or some shit like that. Oh, that's Narcan. Okay, that's Narcan. Look how many fucking crack fiends are in the chat over here.
It draws from both reality and certain
This
sci-fi
was
tropes.
this was just a ruse, chat. I'm a cop. You're fucked. Sorry.
To explore
Wait,
little
what the
air
fuck?
pockets of the surreal within the reality of the game.
Norco is a painkiller. Oh, okay.
The primary benefit that we have.
Oh, wait, I
working
think I
in the
had
sort of
Norco when I had my
adventure game,
teeth taken
point-and-click
out.
genre is that we've got just decades and decades of iteration to build on within this genre, going back to the old Lucas games, you know, Monkey Island and such. What works for our story? What are the necessary mechanics to tell the story of Norco?
Gotcha, North. Thank you. Oh, I just saw how the fighting is happening here on... Okay.
I was interrogating a lot of events and experiences from the past. I was playing a lot of 2D pixel art games at the time. A lot of traumatic events had occurred both in my personal life and the
It's
life
like a
of
rhythm
the region
game.
that I was exploring, and I thought there was a kind of hauntological element to using pixel art to tell those stories.
Anytime someone says
I don't
pixel
have
art,
any artistic experience.
I just
And
think
so
about
doing
Co the
a
other
simple
day
2D
when
pixel
we were
art
watching
game
Guerrilla
fit the
Games
best
day
within
one.
my limited resources that
And
I
he
had.
called pixel art like simple and lazy or something like that. And I wanted to just be like, what the fuck are you actually talking about? But I think
more
back to
recent
that
years,
moment a lot.
Big and
So I
small
didn't say
studios have
anything.
really been pushing like what it means for
I forgot
player
exactly.
agency
I
to
don't think
take
he
a
said
front
lazy.
seat in a semi-linear narrative.
I think simple is the word.
It has been an interesting journey, pushing the boundaries of the medium and kind of forcing it into this more complex, uncomfortable future.
That's not what he said. He said, well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'll wait for Zeke's review of that game.
In the handmade adventure game Harold Halibut, a spaceship full of people fleeing the Cold War crash lands.
We need
in
to
the
get
alien
Khalif
ocean,
on drop
where the
frames.
sunken ship becomes a city that's forever stuck
need to
in
reach
the
out to him.
1970s. And when I say handmade adventure game, I mean that in a very physical, tangible way. Every
Oh,
set,
yeah, that's
every character,
my
every
default
floorboard,
art
every coffee
character.
cup has been
That's 100%
meticulously
my default.
handcrafted from wood, clay, cloth, and metal.
Yeah, he's
Brings
also
gorgeous work to
extremely...
life.
Khalif
Pleased
is
to
in hot
introduce the
demand.
Stop-motion adventure.
He's in
Harold
demand right
Halibut.
now. Oh my god, it's this game. Oh my god, this game's ridiculous. If you haven't seen this game, pay attention right now.
Hi, we are Slow Brothers, a tiny interdisciplinary game studio based in Cologne, Germany.
So this game is made with CG and actual claymation.
Harold! Stop daydreaming! And don't forget to fix the light after cleaning up the paint.
Yeah, and like dioramas and
Sometimes I
stuff.
do wonder what life would have been like on Earth.
It's been about 10 years since we started game development. Some of us have a film background, and at that time we were kind of frustrated about the big budgets needed to produce a feature-length film, the dependencies to producers. Being also game lovers, we thought that making a game instead of a film to tell a story might be the more approachable endeavor. We quickly realized that
I think that guy on the left is
thing
Clay.
at least wasn't too different from feature-length films, but we were way too deep into the process already when we realized that. has always been to create a accurate recreation of a stop-motion film, to create a cinematic feel. And our initial approach was
That's what it looked like on my days off.
experimentation involved until we found our process that we use now, which is 3D
Also,
scanning everything
how I look
by
on my
using
days off.
photogrammetry to create 3D models of the characters that we then animate using motion capturing.
I didn't realize there was motion capture as well.
Which gave us this fluidity and also all the options that we have in modern 3D
Look at
games
that.
to light the scenes in a cinematic way and to use camera movement. So it's even a little bit different than traditional stop motion animation, and we really liked this mix of the digital world and the analog world.
Now this is like when you're in like the 7th and 8th grade and the science fair comes around and someone's parents do way too much fucking work on the science fair.
People questioning.
Meanwhile, you've got a bunch
why
of like
such
glasses
effort
with
into
water in it so you
building
can
the
show
sets
light
and
refraction.
the
This is way
tiny
too
details.
much information. Let's move on.
Ultimately, we think that's why the game feels the way it does is because of
Wasn't a
the
personal
sum of
story or
its
anything, chap.
parts and that level of detail coming
You
together.
fucking asshole,
as
Josh.
a greater thing. We just like put a lot of effort into giving the individual characters and Harold's social environment a lot of depths, and that ultimately makes for like a rich experience.
Now, if you're quite ready.
Sure. Ready for what?
I made a breakthrough discovery
I can't
at the
believe that's a
Arboretum
game.
last night. You remember the last batch of bloomy rocks?
Oh, the really small ones from the last intake? The ones with the strange shapes and the little holes and...
The blue ones, yes. Turns out their surface composition doesn't just give us clues about our immediate aquatic environs. I think they've picked up some influences from outer space as well.
We create
Ow.
a relatable science fiction world instead of
I
having
hope they show
a
the trailer for this because the
super
trailer is very
sci-fi
impressive as well.
future where things are so different that it might as well be magic.
It may have started with one man,
Here it is.
but it took the hearts and minds of many more to make the dream a reality. That dream began at the height of the Cold War, when the world was on the very brink of annihilation. He conceived of an ark-like spacefaring ship. After 200 years, we finally arrived at our destination, only to find that the promising, watery planet contained no habitable landmass and dense toxic gases in the atmosphere.
The Cold War seemed like a good starting point for the backstory of our game, and it enabled us to have this kind of weird mix of being stuck in the 70s on one hand and not living through the things we all know in our present.
Look at that.
But also thinking into the future, the 200 years after that, and creating this kind of alternative timeline where things evolved in a different way.
It's just that the professor and I need some sea rocks, filter rocks from older times that have come from the filters, and I feel like you might have one?
Okay, look and listen here, Longy Long Pants. I shut the store for a reason, you know?
While we have this overarching storyline in our game with multiple story arcs, Harold is only one part of this bigger story, and we always kind of focus on Harold's personal interactions, relationships and friendships of Harold.
Harold! Good timing. You can explain things to the Major, can't you?
Harold, come here and explain things.
So, Harry, how's life been treating you?
Keeping fishy.
What?
Keeping busy.
Okay.
Harold.
Is everything okay?
And therefore really concentrated on providing
Her hair looks
a lot of
kind of creeping me out
in those characters for players to ultimately explore.
Harold, won't you stay? The jog team won't be the same without you.
Yeah, venga, Harold. You can't leave now, I just got here. Jog team, jog team, jog team.
Go jog team.
Come on, Harold. Keep up.
Deep breaths, Harold. You're doing great.
Guys, have you got any tips?
Just keep on moving, Harold. You never know when you'll have to slow down. So keep going while you can.
Ja, dat is toch goed.
Well, the 80s are going to DMCA me.
Imagine setting off across a vast desert on a rite of passage.
Hey, it's time for Sable.
With no one to share the long and lonely trip but your trusty hover bike. On your journey to the horizon, you will traverse a world of beauty and mystery, full of spectacular ruins, both ancient and futuristic. This is the joy of exploration, the thrill of discovery. And if you listen to the stories of the people and places you encounter, perhaps a chance to learn what you came here to understand. This is Sable.
I like how she's become kind of like the face of this game. Yeah, she's the singer, I think, for Japanese Breakfast. I don't know much about Japanese Breakfast. She might be the entire band? I'm not sure.
Shedworks is us. I'm Greg. This is Daniel.
Hey, so far, I'm really liking this. So far, this is fantastic. I think this is Tribeca's first go with this. It's very good.
She's a young girl who's leaving her home for the first time.
The gliding is what Sable embarks on as the story starts, and it's something that everybody who comes of age in the world of Sable does. It's how you find out what you want to become in life. Leaving your home behind and experiencing the world, meeting people, trying things, helping folks in need, and ultimately deciding, what do I want to devote my life to?
Does Tribeca do
so much of the people
rewards
here,
for a
the
game
communities here
festival?
are defined by their vocation. You know, the desert that they live in is inhospitable, and so they've kind of had to come together.
The low frame rate's throwing me off. I don't think it's low frame rate.
And so Sable kind of
I think that
goes
animation is
from place to
occurring
place in
every
different
frame
societies and
or
cultures
something like that.
built
I'm not sure.
around completely
I don't think
different
it's low frame rate. I think it's the type
same
of animation.
It means that she has to be a sponge, right? She's trying to figure out her place in the world, what she wants to do for the rest of her days. And I think that's what makes the story so fun. It really is about the places that you go, the people that you see, and the experiences that you have that not only shape
It would be
her
nice to
gliding,
assign
but shape
Zeke to play these and give us reviews later. I'm not Zeke's boss, man. It's not how that works.
My dad and Daniel's dad went to architecture school together. You know, our lives have kind of crossed a bit in that period. Your mum taught me art at secondary school.
By the time we were at sort of university age, that was when indie games had really kind of taken off as a creative sort of field. I started to think about there was something that I could make myself.
Oh, these are the finalists for the Tribeca Game Awards. Oh.
I studied architecture, Daniel studied comparative literature, but neither of us had any experience making games before we started making games. We kind of went to the pub one time and had a chat about how because we had none of these industry direct connections to skills or experience, we thought we'd start our own internship, do our own internship in the shed. The initial thought was just.
Is he huff paint? Like what's up with all the spray cans up there?
Somehow 6 years or so later, we're here now, still going. Yeah. The thing that we've really tried to focus on is exploration, and we've kind of geared every design decision that we could around that focus.
Is this the same animation process that Into the Spider-Verse used in
There's no real
certain aspects of it?
player in the game. It is quite relaxing in a way, but that doesn't make it less curious a world to explore, I think.
I think the unique thing about it is how lonely it is, and the pace of the game is very laid back.
Kojima, Keeley, and Reggie are some of the judges for the awards. Oh.
It was the first game that we designed that was really geared around our skills as well, our backgrounds. We wanted to do something narrative focused, do a background in comparative literature, we wanted something to architecturally focused, and my background in architecture helped with that. So I think that it's come from us in that way makes it quite unique. We draw from a number of references and influences, I suppose. I guess some of the most obvious ones are the visual ones, right? Stuff like Mobius or Tintin or Studio Ghibli, and those kind of pieces were.
I think they're using a Yeti.
Influential.
Yeah, it does have that mix of ancient and futuristic to our eyes, right, who live here, but to the eyes of Sable and to everyone in that world, that is all that they know.
What does she do for the game, chat? I missed her lower third.
Onto the project really early on, like before we'd really started it, and so.
Well, she's the writer.
Kind of been
Okay.
there from the very beginning, so that's been the music itself has been a really big part of shaping where the direction of the game.
Sable's getting a lot of love. I think Rami was really about this game.
In the Gothic fairy tale Lost in Random, the world is divided into 6 shadowy realms, where every citizen's fate is determined by the roll
He's
of
got
a
that
cursed
Zoa
die.
fridge behind him.
You play as Even, a young girl who's set out on a quest to save her beloved sister, Odd. And with the help of your companion, a magical living die named Dicey, you'll find yourself battling your way through a dark wonderland, and if you want to win the game, you'll have to embrace the chaos and find a way to tip the odds in your favor. From the Odd and Even minds of ZOINK Games, here is Lost in Random.
What the hell is this? Oh, this is the dice game.
So Lost in Random
Okay.
is being
I
developed
remember
at
this.
ZOINK Games in Gothenburg, Sweden. We're about 80 developers with a few different projects, but Lost in Random is definitely our biggest and most ambitious project ever.
All right, that guy needs to cool it with his stash
We're known
game.
for doing quite narrative-driven games.
Okay, good. It looks like he cut
we
it
really
off.
want to make games that speak to people and
His
touch
stash was
people
way too
and
on
make
point.
people think.
So he shaved it.
Lost in Random is a 3D action-adventure game set in the gorgeous Gothic fairy tale world of Random. And it tells the tale of Even, a young girl who befriends Dicey, a living dice with incredible powers.
Even goes on this journey to rescue her sister from the clutches of a mad queen who's obsessed with board games.
And so the Queen decreed that any child who had turned the age of 12 would be given the grand honor of rolling her one true dice to show them their place in the world of random, for random is fair, random prevails, and random rules. Random rules.
Even she's
kind of a
this
smart
naive
way of doing
young
that.
kid who's just, for the first time, going out into the world.
There's
to
a
find
Zoom
out who she
recorder
is.
with a
It's
room
really
mic
a
hooked
story
up to
about
it
the randomness of life
and a proper mic
conquering
hooked up to it. That's
the
smart.
fear of it.
Not sure
Even and
about this
Dicey
game.
are
Seems
a
pretty
really fun
dicey.
duo.
Can we get a
Even
ban
if
on
it's
Crafter
quick
Room,
to
please, in
anger,
the chat?
but she's not one to hold grudges, but she can easily get into a fight, and Dicey's there to hold her back. Dicey, who is this cute puppy kind of character, his moment to shine is when you're in combat. When he even rolls Dicey, he becomes this kind of Swiss army knife of magical power.
No, Dicey. They should be scared of us. Right?
All these
We're really
games
in love
look
with this
so
project.
good graphically.
It's a great story, it's
So
great
unique.
actors, it's the innovative gameplay, and it just feels like everything is just so perfectly packaged together around the dice and this universe.
And the style of the game is kind of like something out of a Leica or Tim Burton movie. It's really everything we've dreamt of doing all these years. It's really great, and we can't wait for everybody to play it.
In the interactive thriller 12 Minutes,
Here we
you
go.
play as a man who becomes trapped in a time loop, replaying the same 12
James
minutes
McAvoy looking
of one
good in old
fateful
age.
evening in his apartment over and over again. Each time you're going to have the chance to make new choices, learn what led up to those terrible events, and perhaps even escape them. It's a story
Although it
that's
might
not
just
just
be the
about how
voice.
choices matter, but about
Might
how
just be the
some
voice.
stories can only truly be told when they can change, even just a little bit, every single time you retell them. It was a joy to participate in this project and lend my voice to the main character, and I hope
He's
you
42.
have as much fun
Yeah,
playing
we're
it
on the
as I
internet,
did
chat.
making
He
it.
might as well
I'm
be
very
90.
proud to
Okay.
introduce a game where the end is only the beginning. 12 minutes.
I have a surprise for you.
Okay.
You want to guess what it is?
I can't wait for this game,
This
man.
is an outfit for a newborn. You bought it this morning. You wanted to surprise me.
I'm sorry.
You're pregnant.
You know?
I know because you already gave it to me. This has happened before.
What are you talking about? What's going on?
Someone is coming. He's going to hurt us. He says you killed your father. I need to know what happened.
It's such a great hook for a game.
Why are you doing this? My father
Died of a heart attack?
No, I didn't have anything to do with.
Any second now, he's gonna knock on that door. Help me.
This isn't happening. This can't be happening.
Police, open up.
My name is Luis. I am the creator of 12 Minutes.
So it's James McAvoy playing the husband, Ray from Star Wars, whose actress's name I'm forgetting,
watching a lot of
is the
films.
wife.
They always captivated
And then
me, and I tried to understand what
the,
were they doing.
not
the
Green
pacing,
Lantern.
the color,
Who plays the
lighting,
assassin?
the composition, in order to
Daisy Ridley
create
and
this
Willem
information.
Dafoe. It's an all-star
What
cast.
are the tools we have as game designers that allow us to do similar things? I think the biggest challenge is that usually when we think about narrative, we think about a linear progression. And in an interactive game, at least in 12 minutes, that information can come at any moment depending on what you've done.
Fuck the game, just make a movie.
I'll tell you over dessert.
All right, I'm ready to get wowed by this dessert.
Just give me 1 second.
You know, I'm fascinated by the idea of if you knew what's going to happen, what would you do differently?
I really wonder how much of a
12
game is
Minutes
here, though.
is an interactive thriller about a man trapped in a time loop. You come home from work, you're having an evening with your wife, then this cop shows up, he accuses your wife of murder.
Hands behind your back, let's go.
You try to stop him, you
Cop,
get beat
not
up.
assassin.
Somebody help!
only to wake up back to the start of the evening. And then you have to use the knowledge of what you know it's going to happen to try to change the outcome and break the loop.
Look, I know this sounds weird, but the day's repeating itself.
What do you mean, repeating itself?
I'm living the same chunk of time over and over again.
Uh-huh.
The reason the game sticks to a bird's eye view is because it allows you to very easily interact with the environment. Most video games, you have a third-person camera or a first-person camera, and I wanted to create something that is very accessible. So by doing a bird's eye view, you have like a floor plan of the apartment that you just click where to move. There was also the challenge of having the voices convey the emotions without seeing the faces.
Just T.
If someone is really stressed out, you won't have any facial expressions, so you have to feel the stress in the throat.
Particularly because you don't see our faces in it, you really are projecting whatever you're feeling onto the character. There's no facial expressions that are instructing you. Where you go in the game will, I think, depend on you as an individual.
I just need some time to myself. Come on, babe, please, stop it.
And if there's enough subtlety in the voice acting, in the movement, your brain will
Her
feel
English
the rest.
accent.
Because actors think in terms of motivation.
Really just drops
What's my
completely
motivation
to an American accent.
And workshopping with them,
And that's
figuring
fucking
those things
creepy.
out
I don't
allows
trust someone that can do
the
that.
characters to become alive and become meaningful in the way they behave.
I don't like that.
Look, I didn't mean to. This is never what I wanted.
Same as him. Where's his fucking accent?
I warned you.
Look,
I don't trust both of you.
It will be different things
Where's
for
Willem?
people. There are so many versions of the story that will either reveal something or show something, and you as the player are revealing how you deal with truth, how you deal with other people's truth.
Working in interactive medium, you can make a story that becomes very personal to you, right? You're not passively looking at what's happening and processing. You're actually deciding. By allowing you to participate, to change it, and to mold the way it's built, in a way it becomes part of you. It's like you're part of the creative process that is happening. And because the game doesn't really give you a direction, the decisions you make are based on who you are.
I'll prove it.
Yeah, great, let's see it. Wow me.
That allows you to explore a side of yourself that maybe you wouldn't otherwise.
Silently repeat these phrases. May you be free from suffering. May you be free from fear. May you know peace and joy.
That game might be really good. It got really intense, though.
If you're not familiar with The Big Con, a coming-of-age comedy adventure about a teen in the 1990s, well...
Holy
let me
shit, it's
explain.
Sabrina!
You play as Allie, a high school junior who learns that her mom is about to lose her video rental store to loan sharks unless they come up with over $90,000 ASAP. Well, there's clearly only one thing you can do. Run away from band camp, head to the mall, and become a con artist. I mean, that's just common sense. From the decade that gave us the World Wide Web and so much plaid, I give you The Big Con.
The big con.
Wait, what? The Bitcoin? What? What about Bitcoin? Yes, what about Bitcoin? Oh!
Hey, I'm Dave Proctor from Mighty L Studios, and I am the game director and writer on The Big Con. Mighty L is a company from Toronto. We're made up of some really awesome devs from this city. George Degenkamp, Saffron Aurora, Tabby Rose, Karina Diaz, and Yash Kulkarni is our core team. The Big Con is a adventure game where you hustle your way across 90s America as a teenage con artist. It's all for a good cause. You are trying to save your mom's video store. So you learn to pickpocket, wear disguises, talk your way into and out of trouble. All for that good, not so good cause of making sure your family business stays afloat.
It's gonna end and she's gonna steal FIFA 21 and Frostbite source code.
You know, one of the toughest things
At
about
the end
making
of the
this
game.
game was selling people on the non-violent crime aspect of it. Games with guns
It all
don't
makes
bat an
sense.
eye,
It's
but
all
you know,
related.
You have to steal an old lady's wallet.
It's
people
all
start to think,
connected.
maybe there's something wrong with you, which is fine. That's part of the fun of making this. It really helps us make something that, you know.
That or the end is she
challenges
launches
ourselves.
Netflix.
And hopefully helps us find a little bit of in between in a story like this. Ultimately, Allie's doing crimes for a good cause, and you know, writing a funny and heartfelt story.
Is that a Secret Labs chair?
Those actions. So, you know, on the one hand, we get to make a game that we've never seen before, which is a con artist video game, and on the other hand, we get to kind of couch that.
How does this keep happening?
Conversation
Chat?
about
How do
small
people keep
businesses
buying these
surviving
chairs?
And, you know, a story about a mother and a daughter. And
They can't keep getting away with it.
Really informed like what we were capable of coming up with in terms of this relationship. Like, who is Linda, Allie's mom, who raised her as a single mom and kept a business together and is tough as hell? And what is that person like?
What the
What is her daughter like? How do they play off against each other? Allie can be, you know, she can be a teenager. She can be rough. She can be sarcastic. And this is something that we really wanted to see, and I think it brings a lot of truth to the game.
I wonder why 97,368.
If it makes us laugh, it goes in the game. That was our.
Oh, he's got a
that was
Ted
our
Lasso sign? Hold on.
We really want you to explore and find
Oh my
stuff.
God, he does. Boys, if you have not, boys, girls,
Random
and MBs, if
conversations
you have
with people
not
that, you know, some people might see, some people might not.
seen
It
Ted
makes us happy
Lasso,
knowing that it's in there.
close the goddamn stream and go watch it right now. Go watch it.
And it, I think, really builds on the feeling of like building your own adventure.
Apple TV, it's worth the $10. I think you can actually get Apple
90s are
TV
just
for
not-
free for like 5 days.
Not as done in video games, but we wanted to do it. We wanted to get in there.
And you'll binge watch the show
90s
in
are a
one.
time when you don't have cell phones, you don't have the internet, you don't have the ability to look this stuff up if you need to, and it makes it a little bit more believable that you can be a traveling con artist, which I think is part of the charm. And so, you know, with the 90s means that we also get to do this ripping, colorful palette that Saffron put together.
I watched a lot of cartoons growing up. Hey Arnold, Doug, and The Simpsons. They sort of set the foundation
That very
for
much looks like
this
that game.
cartoon 90s aesthetic. Bright, contrasting colors, exaggerated features, and like fun geometric patterns. So Allie is a very does what she wants character. She wears her cap backwards. That to me was always the signature look of the cool leader type character that you'd see in a lot of cartoons. You know, she has the ripped jeans, the baggy t-shirt, and she also wears her plaid shirt wrapped around her waist, which is, you know, a very, I think, 90s style.
The references from Burblos to music or grunge or you know, what movies
All
were
very
popular, and like it just we don't want to beat you over the head with nostalgia, but we want to bring you there. We want you to be on this journey with us.
The Big Con is the 90s crime adventure you've been waiting for. What do you think?
How many more games are they showing? Let's see where we're at in the list.
Okay.
I just want to finish off by saying thank you so much for the opportunity to be a part of this.
I think that's
and
the
to
last
be,
one, actually.
You know, in the presence of such incredible games, and really just incredible international talent, means a lot to a pretty stoked team from Toronto. So we hope to see you there.
Oh wait,
and,
we still haven't seen Reggie
we may
Fils-Aimé
try to
and
steal the award anyways.
Keeley, and they're probably about to show up now, right? Wait, did we see them? Yeah, Kina is what they started with. Wait. Oh, they're the judges. Oh, so they're how they got there. Oh, we got jebaited, chat. We got jebaited. We got jebaited. That was the big con all along, chat. That was the big con all along. Hey, every single one of those games looks fantastic and should be played. Kina lost. I'll go through the names again. Kina, Lost in Random, Sable, 12 Minutes, Signalis, The Big Con, Harold Halibut, which was the claymation game, and Norco, which was the Norman Reedus game. That all that looks pretty good, pretty impressive, pretty good stuff. And for Tribeca to kind of, is their first entry into the world of video games, I think, in like this little spotlight series. It's great. It's great. I think that's great. I think that's how it goes, how it should be. So, missed a little montage at the beginning. Reggie and Keeley were in that. Oh, okay. All right. Well, cool. That is that. Chat, it's time to get into some cock. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to wrap up this VOD here on YouTube. We're going to start a new recording of the big Cock Primetime Festival. And then we'll watch it. We'll see what they're doing. There's a bunch of sponsored cock watchers. We're going to end the video now, and let's keep this wholesome. And the next one will be absolutely filthy. Just dick jokes all around. Great. Thanks for watching. Make sure to spam that sub button. Hit it with your fill in the blank. And we'll see you next time on the YouTubes.